the way, I'm Facebook Live.
10 out of
right
10
now.
experience, and we just walked in the door. Okay.
Wow, guys, that was amazing. And that was just a little intro to our guest today. Our member spotlight is Game Guys Paul Myers. He has an incredible company down in New Orleans, Louisiana. That's the exact time we're going to ask him. We get to know him a little bit better. And one of the reasons we started with Paul is because we were down at the NACPO convention, and he gave us the most amazing time. It was a convention of people that do events for a living, and it wowed me and it floored everybody. And then we're so happy to have him. Paul, thank you for being our first guest on this member spotlight.
Hey, thanks for having me, Tom. Man, I'll tell you, when I look at that, it brings a smile to my face. It was so much fun. I get to share, our unique culture with my colleagues and my friends. You guys becoming my friends over the years. So I really enjoyed sharing that experience. And that's kind of what we wanted. We wanted an experience. We didn't want to just do an event. We wanted to do an experience, things that you can take back to wherever you're from in the country and tell all your friends about it, that you were dancing and parading in the streets of New Orleans. So it was a lot of fun.
That it was amazing. And I said this to you personally. I want to say this to everybody. Two of my favorite parts of the conference were those moments that you provided for us. And then second was to see your warehouse. Your warehouse was amazing. We got to really connect and see everything that's going on there. And beyond that, I feel like we really got to see, like, we got to experience that connection between us. And I have to say, super impressive. Everything about it was super impressive. But I would really love to dig into, while we were heading to your warehouse, you were telling me about how you started. So could you give us a little background on how Game Guys began?
Yeah, definitely. My trade was the casino business. I was in the casino business for 23 years. So it kind of all started there. I was working down in West Louisiana at an Indian reservation, and I had a neighbor who knew what I did and wanted to get into the casino business. So he asked me if I can teach him how to deal blackjack. Of course I did. Yeah, sure, I can do that. It was my neighbor. It was a friend of mine. So I went to the hardware store and I got, a piece of plywood and cut it up and put a felt down at the fabric store. So I made a makeshift blackjack table. So I was teaching them blackjack. This went on for a few weeks. At the same time, I had another mutual friend that worked at the casino that was having a birthday party. So she said, "Hey, Paul, can I use your blackjack table?" I was like, "I'll do one better. I'll send the guy I've been training with the blackjack table. He'll deal and get experience, and you'll get, a full blown party with the entire experience." At the time, didn't think anything of it. I was just helping two friends out. The next day, my surprise, my friend was like raving over how much fun they had and how much the dealer was entertaining, and it was just such a good time. And at that moment, a light bulb just kind of went off. Like, I wonder if I can do this for a living and make money off of it. Didn't do any research whether or not people were actually doing this. I just thought it was a great idea. And once I got the feedback, it was kind of like a no-brainer. I need to explore this a little bit more.
That's awesome. And how many years ago was that? When did you start?
Yeah, that was back in about 2000. So we've been in business about 26 years. We've changed names 3 times, but it was the same company. We just changed the names as we kind of went along. And most recently, we went from Poker Productions to Game Guys, and that's where we're currently at. Same company, same great service. We just had a name change to be a little bit more of a game rental company and not just a casino game rental company.
And I actually love that because, okay, there's 2 things that I love about it. One is that you started with a great quality staff, because in the casino industry, you had the connections to bring incredibly professional dealers to events. And I have to say, your dealers are super personable. They were so much fun. We had them at a poker tournament as well. That was another experience provided while we were down there, is that his equipment and his dealers were at the event. They were incredible. Everyone from your setup guy to everybody at the event. Nobody could say anything bad about anybody. And I think that's the key to it, is you provide a great quality service. And this is a fun game. What is this game? I don't think I have this in my arsenal.
Well, that game is, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. It's three-card poker, but we don't call it that because that would be infringement on, copyright. So we call it trips poker, which is basically the same game, not
With some
quite
different odds. With some
different
different
odds. There's
odds. So
different
it's not
odds.
exactly the same.
All right, it looks a little bit different, so I don't want Shuffle Master coming after me and shutting me down on that game. So, but it's based on three-card poker, but it's trips poker.
There you go. In the style of, as people like to say. In the style of. I totally get. But you could also see, I love that with the black outfit, red bow tie, that was my uniform for so many years. And that's another thing I love about acting with other companies. Because in comedy, it's called parallel lines of thinking, because two guys might act like somebody stole a joke just because you're doing something well, right? You're not
Yeah.
stealing a uniform. We're both finding that that's the best possible uniform.
Yeah,
Which
when we first started, it was traditional black and white, black pants, white tuxedo shirt with a black bow tie. That was kind of traditional. And when we rebranded to Game Guys, all of our layouts became black. So I thought it would just look really good with the dealers being dressed in black and the red accent to kind of make it all pop. So we're really happy the way the rebranding came with the layouts and also the dealers, their new dress.
I love the way that else I loved this display. You do this for a lot of your corporate events for like promo display?
Yeah, sure. Anybody who wants to display sponsorship, this was actually a fundraiser that we were at, and they wanted to display their fundraiser, the folks that's fundraised. I'm sorry, sponsored the fundraiser. A lot of times you'll go to one and you'll see maybe a picture, a piece of paper on the table, maybe in a frame, and I was like, you know what? Those sponsors are paying good money to sponsor that table. Let's highlight them a little bit better. So what these digital displays do is it can run a slideshow, it can run a video, it can do a lot of different things that just a standard piece of paper doesn't do. And we can create the images, whatever background we want. So there's a lot of customization with it. So they're a very popular way to display sponsorship. And this is a 32-inch. It stands right next to the dealers. You can't miss it. It's kind of right there in your face. So the sponsor gets a lot of exposure. And we also have an 8-inch. It's a tablet that we use. And there may be a picture in there, Tom. I'm not sure. But it's basically a tablet that sits on the table. It would probably be on the roulettes. Oh, we have to crouch.
Roulette?
But basically, it does the same function. You can barely see the back of it right there next to the wheel, but it's just a display that we use to run a slideshow of the sponsors.
Gotcha. And I think that's a big give back. Like good companies provide value not only for the guests that are entertaining or the client that we're working for, but for the sponsors at fundraisers. And you do a really great job of that.
Thank you. Yeah, we try because it's a big important part of the fundraiser is the sponsorship, right? So we wanted to figure out a way to really bring that to light and really expose that sponsorship. And we love these displays, and so does our clients.
Absolutely. I love the way it turns out. And let's touch on because of the rebranding to Game Guys, and that's what I thought was amazing. I'm gonna pull up a quick video clip so you could see a little bit more of Game Guys in action beyond the casino thing. Let's start with what everybody thinks of. I think of like arcade games, right? That was cool. You have a lot of arcade games, huh?
I do. We started that actually during COVID. We wanted to have something that we can go and just drop off, like a casino party. You have your dealers there. And during COVID, we both know that you wasn't really supposed to gather. So I wanted to think of things that we can just drop off, leave, and then pick up. So the close contact was pretty much, it didn't have to happen. We just had one setup guy go set it up. He was out of there and then he came back once the party was over. So it allowed us to still work through COVID without doing a lot of casino parties. And that's kind of where it all stemmed from. And these games are the 3/4 size games, which are perfect because a lot of venues can't support a full size table. Now we do rent the full size ones, but these are more popular. The price point is better, and the size of them. It's the same game. It's just a little bit smaller version. Um, Now you have some clients that want the real thing, the higher end ones, and we can definitely provide that for them. But these right here they rent a lot because they're better in price and they can fit in most spaces.
And you're able to provide a lot of variety for a better value. Love it.
Yes,
And I love
absolutely.
the foosball, the papa shot. You have a lot going on. You are the game guys.
Thanks to COVID, we are the game guys. We needed things besides the casino. We had to diversify our offerings to get through COVID, and it was a tough. I tell you, Tom, it was tough because we was known as Poker Productions for a lot of years, and I was so afraid that people were going to be like, "Oh, must be a new company. It's not Paul." Everybody knew me as Poker Paul for a long time, so I was afraid that I was going to lose that image, but it worked out really well, and I'm glad we did it.
Absolutely. And then once post COVID coming back, you also have a lot of fun, different games outside of the arcade games. Let's take a quick cut over to the horse racing. So tell us more about that. I love it.
Yeah, again, we had clients that did casino parties for many years, and they'll call me and say, Paul, what else do you have? We love the casino, we want to add to it, or even maybe change up the theme. So horse racing was kind of a natural fit. So we put together a horse racing program, and they bet with the chip, so it's still kind of like they're in the casino. So, but the good thing about horse racing is you can have it as a standalone event, like a Kentucky Derby event where everybody dress up. The ladies have the big hats, so you can do the whole theme, or you can just add it to. We do a lot with the casino parties. It's just an add-on to the casino, so it works out great.
And I loved your custom cashier cages. If everybody caught that in the video, you want to rewind the video and get back to that. Those custom cashier cages are something that you designed specifically, right? You made those?
I did. I was bored during COVID. I saw a picture of one. I don't even remember where I saw it at. I'm like, I can do that. Let me build it. I'm not a carpenter by any means. So it came out pretty good. And yeah, they rent really well because it's we call it decor, but they're functional as well. You can stand behind it and you can do the transaction through the window. So it's a dual purpose and goes great with horse racing and also the casino.
Yeah, I think it overall fits. Let's talk about something that's totally different that I've never seen at any of our other. And at NACPO members, let me know if there is something different that you do like this. This was amazing. You had sent it over. Let me see if I could pull a picture of it first, because let's talk about it before we show the video. You have a portable bowling alley that's totally customizable, right?
Yeah. So again, during COVID, I was building, and I saw a company. It was one company, and I don't even think I was searching for it. It just randomly popped up. They did something similar, and I was like, you know what? That would be a great, unique, fun idea. So I just started building and come up with a design, and I built it all myself. And it came out way better than I thought it was going to come out. But yeah, they're portable bowling lanes. They come in sections, so when you put them together, they make a 28-foot lane. The customization is the display over the pins, so we can run a slideshow, or we can run the branding of the company, and then the truss that goes over it. We can do electronic scoring, or we can do branding up there as well. So it's a really unique item. There's probably only, that I know of, maybe a handful of companies that do it across the country. We've been all over the place with these, not just in our service area. We've been way beyond, because it is such a unique item, and it's so much fun for a party.
So all the NACPO members that are watching, remember, keep pulling them on. You might be able to bring this to your events coming up. Let's show a quick video clip as well so everybody can see it in action. Paul, that is super unique and one of the things that definitely I feel like sets you apart. It's something totally different. Also, I think you set you apart because you truly care. Like, right? You were caring about during COVID when times were down. You're like, I could build this. You're a creative. Even if you're not a carpenter, those things, the cages came out amazing. The bowling alley came out amazing. I appreciate you being so open and sharing with everybody, right? That I wanted to mention that's one thing I really appreciate when I was on your website. You have an incredible website, right? Let everybody know what that website is so they can go take a look at it too.
Yeah, it's gameguys.com.
And it is totally transparent. Like all of your pricing is up there with your pictures. I love the way you presented the pictures. It showed the photos of the games with everything. So how many half moon tables, how many craps tables. That was great. Yeah, I want to know if you have any other thing you want to touch on too while we're chatting. Was there anything else you want to mention?
No, we're always looking for new fun themes that we can do. We're bringing on karaoke, mobile karaoke pretty soon, and we're gonna do with that. We can be able to do lip sync battle. So that's another category that we're working on now to try to get done. We just always are looking for ways to have amazing themes and amazing parties. That's the direction that the company's going in. Now, casino's always going to be the best. It's always going to be one of the funnest themes that there is. But we're exploring other ways to, bring, like we say, bring the fun as our tag to events. So I appreciate you having me, Tom. This was a lot of fun.
I appreciate you coming out and sharing with all of us, and hopefully we get more NACPO members. This will be on the NACPO site. Remember to check them out. If you're in New Orleans, I personally would say I will recommend every single client I have that if they're visiting New Orleans for a convention, if they're going down there for a vacation, they need to contact you. If they're going on a bachelor party, bachelorette party, they want to bring in a casino table, or just have an incredible experience. Paul Myers is the guy, Game Guys, down in Louisiana. And how do you say it, Paul? One more time for everybody out there in the organization that doesn't say it right.
All right, we're in New Orleans. That's how we say it. Any other way is wrong. New Orleans.
Appreciate it, Paul. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're going to see everybody again next at the next Member Spotlight. We really appreciate it. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you all. We'll talk to you all soon. Have a great one. Thank you.